Hello, everybody. This is Julia Lopez here, your communication architect. And today I'm wearing a different hat because I'm bringing to you here a conversation about speaking, about public speaking, and above all, about PSA Spain, Professional Speakers Association Spain. And my guest today is my colleague, is a friend who is a how can I say, multi-talented person. And he has his hands and his hats in several different areas. He is Stephen Karbaron. Welcome, Stephen.
Thank
And
you.
he's a certified conscious business change agent, goal mapping master coach, and international public speaking. He has an international track record of building successful companies and now focuses on ethical, conscious leadership. Steve is a member of Conscious Capitalism Europe, mastermind facilitator, a member of the Professional Speakers Association Spain as a part of the executive committee, is a past president of Prestigious Speakers Barcelona Toastmasters Club, and has appeared on numerous international podcasts. Stephen has also spoken several audiences in England, Spain, Russia, Turkey, and more to come. So it's my pleasure today to have Stephen with me because we are here in this. I'm bringing through PSA Spain this conversation about what is speaking and why is that important in our professional life. Stephen, to
Well,
you.
yeah. So speaking is one part. I'm not going to say one half. It's one part of communication, and communication is how we generally connect with people. It's how we express ourselves. So it can be speaking. We can also connect with body language and other ways of building ourselves and building a connection and showing people who we are and what we stand for. And of course, when people get to know who we are and what we stand for, they can make a decision whether they want to align with us and support us, or whether they move on and take their journey elsewhere.
And how speaking has helped you, Stephen, in your professional career in building your businesses? How speaking contributed to that?
Well, just once again, speaking stroke communicating has allowed me to express myself. It's certainly within business and within a lot of opportunities that I've had. It's allowed me to understand, because it's not just about telling, it's also about asking, because one of the really important parts of communication is listening as well as speaking. There's often the expression one mouth, two ears, which sort of says that God wanted us to listen a little bit better, or whoever made us. And this is something that's absolutely true. So with many opportunities, many things I've done, whether it's been in negotiation skills, whether it's been team leading, and getting jobs, taking up a job up in Moscow, Russia, when I was headhunted to go there, discussing with Dolce & Gabbana that I should be allowed to be the first non-Italian designer to design an eyewear collection for them. All of these things, it came from communication. It came from me being able to explain why I was the best person, what my ideas were, and how I could perform. And then I had to show them, of course. So that was the next part of the communication. But it started with the spoken word.
Exactly. Yesterday we were having a training with one of our colleagues speaker, and one thing she asked at the very beginning of her training was, what is the biggest problem in corporations in the at the moment? And you were there. Remember what the answer?
Absolutely. Communication.
Yes. And then that I can take the leap here to quote Bernard Shaw, where he says that one of the biggest mistakes is to assume that communication is happening in the first place. So we tend to believe because we speak, we talk, we are communicating, and we are not. And as professionals, we know, and you explained quite well, how important it is to be in front of people and have a clear message. How to being in front of people is speaking helps for you to develop as executive presence. And again, I quote our PSA president, Andrew Bryant, with his famous quote that you don't need to be a professional speaker, but you need to be a professional who can speak professionally. So then I go into our Professional Speaker Association. You are part of PSA Spain. And what made you to take that decision to join PSA Spain?
Well, to be honest with you, you mentioned also earlier that I was a past president of Prestigious Speakers Toastmasters Club, and that's probably where my professional speaking journey really started. Now, as you mentioned, and as Andrew says, I was already speaking professionally when I was speaking in my professional positions within the workplace. When we negotiate, of course, we want to be as professional as possible. When we ask for things, when we create an opportunity for ourselves, this is all has to be as professional as possible. But then joining Toastmasters, I started to learn how to speak on stage, how to speak to people, and how to connect with people in an audience. And this then led me through some of my Toastmaster colleagues to being part of the inaugural setup of the Professional Speakers Association of Spain, which launched just before 2020, in 2019. And of course, everything changed then. But it changed in such a good way, because what happened was we started to realize that we had to also learn to speak like this, to speak to a camera, to speak to you and an audience online, and to share our emotions in a slightly different way. Because when we're in a room, the connection is very different to when we're on a screen. And this is something that we've learned over the last few years. Many people have had to improve this skill and get better at it. And I think the PSA Spain has really helped me, first of all, to challenge myself on stage, but particularly to challenge myself online. And this has opened up a myriad of opportunities for me to facilitate and share my knowledge with other groups, as well as the PSA Spain.
That's amazing, because yes, you're quite right. We were, before the pandemic, we were doing some things online, but it was not this systematic approach. And also, I think it became more relaxed in a way, because even if we see in the news, where before everything was a stage, was in the studio, and nowadays even the news on TV, people are in front of the camera from their living room, from their house, like as we are doing right now. And then it makes clear that what matters in the end is the message that you want to come across. And PSA Spain then, from that, benefited from being online, and now we have members from all over the globe, as you know. And we are having well, before getting there, you became part of the executive committee of PSA, organizing the networking events virtually, the trainings. Can you share with the audience a little bit of what we have been doing in terms of educating our members into the speaking business or speaking professionally, and both?
Yeah, so certainly the PSA Spain was set up with a very clear intention. It was to help its members improve and build their speaking careers, or speaker businesses. Now, that could be a speaking on stage business. It could be your speaking within the workplace business. It can be a training. It can be coaching, whatever you do where you're using your voice or using communication skills to get your message across. And this is something that we've really stepped up on since, as you mentioned, Andrew came in. He's a 25 years experience of professional speaking. So we've now built a committee, which he kindly asked me to join. And I'm one of those people who pop my hand up almost straight away, almost sometimes without thinking. So I jumped in.
The cheerleader syndrome.
Exactly. As I often say, the ones who don't, they're the ones with armophobia. It's a very dangerous phobia of putting your arm up, and the fear of putting your arm up. But I don't have that, unfortunately, so I get into a lot of opportunities because of that. And I was asked to join, and I'm very happy I did, because it's given me the opportunity to be, well, as you're aware, I'm the events lead within the committee. So I look after our regular monthly events on the second Tuesday of the month, which are for members and guests. And there we have special speakers, as you mentioned. Yesterday we had Beryl Comer came on, and she talked about the drama triangle and gave us some amazing tips and information. We also have other speakers, either from our PSA or sometimes from other PSAs or other areas around the world. And the great thing is it's online, so we can have speakers join us from anywhere in the world to share their knowledge, share their experiences, the lessons they've learned, and teach us all how to become better at running our speaker businesses.
And you said something very important there that I need to emphasize, because sometimes some PSA, professional speaker associations, have are known to be very competitive, and we are very much focused on building a community. So it's more holding hands together and supporting everybody to move forward in whatever direction they want to go. And jumping to your position as event manager and leader in our association, tell the audience about our Amazing to Be event in November and why they should come.
Barcelona is going to be the venue. We're going to have it at the H10 Marina Hotel, which is a lovely hotel. I've been back there again this week. It's a beautiful hotel. It's got a great room. I went there with you. You remember it. And we are going to put on a very special. It's going to be our second big conference. We had a conference last November. This will be our second one, and I believe it's, we learn. Each time we get better, we should learn and grow. So this will be a bigger event than last year's one. This is going to have some international speakers. We've got speakers flying in from America, from the UK. We've got people from Spain, all over Spain coming in. Some will be speaking, some will be sharing, some will be in the audience. And I would really recommend anyone who is either in Barcelona or who would just like to come and spend a few days in November. And let me tell you, November is a great time to visit Barcelona. Not so crowded with tourists, but the weather's still good. Quite often you can walk around in t-shirts, and it's a lovely time to come to the city. And why not make that an excuse to come and join us in November at what's going to be an amazing festival of speaking, where we're all going to learn, we're all going to improve, but most importantly, as you say, we're going to come together as a community, sharing, supporting and serving each other in our growth and our plans to share our messages, because this is for me why I joined the committee. It's so important that we understand that we have an important message to share, and if we can help each other to improve and do that in the best possible way, our commitment is to be ethical. Our commitment is to share knowledge that will improve ourselves and everyone we speak to, and therefore improve the world.
Nothing else to say. I will leave there. So you listening, you got the message, and join us November 18th. I have the link here. In any ways, you can contact me directly. You can contact Stephen directly, and let's get together in November in person in Barcelona in this amazing to be learning, enriching experience. Thank you again, Stephen, for being here with me.
That's a pleasure. And I promise, for those who want it, because I understand there are those who don't necessarily, but there will be hugs going around, there'll be high fives going around, and there will be eye contact for those who don't want to get into physical contact.
Excellent. Thank you. Bye.